Go.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to introduce ourselves. I'm Hannah, and this is my partner, Wijaya. Today, we are going to give rebuttals about video from opposition. Okay, the motion is this house would improve the corruptors. So, I'm going to start. Corruption is an activity to manipulate data and take the money. People who conduct corruption is not an automatic deed, but suddenly this is by planning. Usually people with great powers and high position turn to do corruption. We understand that corruption is wrong act. No matter how small and big the corruption is, it is still considered very wrong because it takes what is not their right and even harms so many people. Or in this case, corruption improves the others, our government and our nation. As we can see and understand, corruptors commit acts of corruption knowingly that there are consequences for their actions. Today, corruption is being monitored because until now, the problem of corruption has not been solved. That's why we need a stricter punishment for corruptors. Talking about punishment, actually the purpose of punishment is to regulate and protect people's lives and provide a deterrent effect on corruptors. So actually, to break the chain of corruption, we need to do several steps that we need to understand. So the first thing that we have to do is improve the existing system in our government in eradicating and handling corruption, such as the Corruption Eradication Commission. Here we must strengthen the system to eradicating corruption. The second thing, we should need to give proper punishment, which give a deterrent effect to them, so that in the future they will not commit corruption again, and it will be a lesson for all the people not to do corruption.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to another consequences. Talks about the consequences of the death penalty. One of debater giving the opinion about the death penalty as a punishment to the corruptor, to make corruptors feel deterred. But ladies and gentlemen, as a human being, we don't have the right to decide this person may live or not. It is written in 28A of the 1945 Constitution, which reads, everyone has the right to live and has the right to defend his life. Therefore, this is not right to give the death penalty to the corruptors. Even the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission clearly stated that the implementation of the death penalty was not considered effective. We may think and questioning why it is not effective. Well, the first reason is, as a legal basis for human rights, namely the right to live should be protected. It cannot even be reduced for any reason. So there is no any excuse allowed to do death penalty. Secondly, giving a death penalty doesn't stop the corruption activity itself, because mostly the corruptor didn't do the corruption by himself but with groups. That's why keeping them alive proceed the case and capture other corruptors. Hopefully, it cleans the government from the corruptors. And then the last one, the third, let's say that the corruptor dies. Unfortunately, he stopped doing the corruption right. But the effects of it aren't stopped in the same moment when he dies. People are still poor. The government still has the bad title because of what he has done. And the nation has launched a bunch of money that in the first place has prepared for the development of the nation itself. He wouldn't have a chance to see, to realize and to feel how bad the cause of his deed. So if he alive, he gets a chance to be liable for what he did, the corruption. So in this case, it is better to isolate them or exile them from their origin place, the exile punishment. Because when they begin living in a new place, of course they will start to learn how to learn the new norms, or possibly separate them from social life, the life that they used to live, or even separate them from the technology. Also during the exile time, they will be impoverished. They will feel how and how hard to live as the society is because of the corruption around this nation. And this period of exile, they will carry out community service action, where this form of action acts as a way for them to gradually compensate for what they did. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion. We need to understand that committing a corruption is a fatal thing. And we must break the chain of corruption and eradicate the roots of corruption in Indonesia, like strengthen the system, eradicate corruptors, and choose the proper punishment for the corruptors. That's why we support the action of government to impoverish the corruptors, such as deprive the corruptors of their right politics and become the social workers, or implemented the exile punishment as what I have told you before. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from us, and we are so grateful and thank you for the intention, and it's a big honor for us to present for all the judges. Thank you once again, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.